So this is my logbook for week 1 for Sad Club. Um, just a quick overview of what we did in this week. So this week we did the first read through. We got given the Sad Club, the script of Sad Club. We looked at the practitioners that could be involved. So we looked at they had Brecht and Stanislavski. We also looked at themes, and the ideas we had of what the first thing we're taking from it is. We also looked at context of the play, so what the context can bring to the show. We also looked at the monologues that we are going to be performing to audition for the roles. And we also looked at structure, so how the play's structured, if it's episode after episode, or if all the episodes are linked, or if they're non-binary. So yeah, and we're going to talk about the research I did into the monologues and the characters. So we'll start off by doing the read-through. So yeah, we got given the script for Sad Club and read-through, and we all sat in a class, we did the read-through for it. And for me, I found it really good. I liked that it was a really good sort of insight to what they're about. I'm getting the impression that there's a lot of monologues in there, so it's a sort of, we're feeling that it's about some people's stories and how they feel, how they're feeling. They're telling people how they feel, or they're telling someone else who's on the stage how they feel. There's also songs in there as well. So there'll be a lot of movement, obviously, because it's a musical, so there'll be dancing, singing. Yeah, and a lot of things we can play with. So talking about that, we can talk about the theme. So we thought, okay, so we're talking about people, they're feeling quite down, they're a bit depressed. So we thought, okay, the theme might be we come up with anxiety and depression and all this, and we came up with an idea of feeling blue. So feeling blue meaning you're feeling a bit down, and whenever you feel blue, we don't show it, sort of thing. So we all got together and we all gave up my idea, not my idea, all of our ideas, were that feeling blue would be the main key. So we sort of had an element of blue in each scene to show how the person was feeling, even if it was something really small that they were holding, or it was a top. That we all as a class decided that the whole theme of Sad Club is going to be feeling blue, and how we are going to play with that, and how all of it is going to work into one. So then we moved on to the context of the play. So the context of the play, we thought, okay, what is sort of related back to theme, but what's this trying to show? What are we after reading it? What's our impression, and what do you think the context is? So I decided that the context of it was the fact that we are obviously going back to feeling blue, but like I said, when I read it, it's people's stories and how they are coping with those stories. So these monologues are how people are coping. I've written down here the research into the characters, which I'll talk about in a minute. But yeah, the actual the context would be sort of, I don't know, sort of how they are going to cope, if that's showing them in a dance, in a song, or actually someone showing you in a different scene how to cope with it. So yeah, and also which relates to the structure of how it's not non-binary. So there's, for example, there's a character called Craig. Craig's in his first scene, but Craig is, that's it. We don't see Craig in the second scene, or a scene later on. That's just Craig for that scene. And then there'll be a Chloe, and there'll be a Stacey, and there'll be a David. So there was only one in each scene. There's not another David in another scene, or there's not a Craig in another scene. Actually, with David is going to be in Craig's swimming scene, but that is it. David doesn't talk in it or anything. That he just says, "Well swam, mate." Yeah. So talking about the read through and my voice, how do I think the voice went? How my voice was fine. My articulation was fine. Obviously, it's the first read through, so we can't really talk about how your voice, because we didn't do any singing, didn't any physical thing. But yeah, they went well. So it was a rehearsal, it was a read through. So a rehearsal. Are you meeting your tasks? Obviously, I haven't set any tasks yet, but the main task was to be focused. So the research. Have I done any research yet? Yes. So after obviously get given the script and doing the monologues, we sit back and we've told that we've got to do research into the two characters that we're choosing. So I chose that we're doing I'm doing David and Craig. So I thought I'm gonna do a bit of research about them. So I got the script, and it says I've looked at there's 4 things. It's just what can we see about Craig? What does others say about Craig? What does Craig say about himself? So the only thing about in the text that Craig says that he's in speedos. That is literally it. There's nothing else in the in the text that Craig is talking about. Yeah. So a research I've done. I thought I obviously, because it's not a well-known play, it's literally just been produced, so we can't do research online. But I did research of how Craig would react in different situations. So how he would talk, how he would say that. Obviously, I think David's in love. So how he would react. So we did a bit of hot seating. On the Monday. Sorry, not the Monday, the Monday after, which I'll talk about. So the characterization there, just building David's and characters. Just so when we perform the long monologue, we know how David's going to perform, we know how he's going to act, we know how he's going to walk, and all these kind of things. So yeah, we did little things with David for the character research. For that one. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Interpreting text. So have you edited any themes, scripts, and anything? Yeah, I've put in the script how I'm going to do David's. So when I'm going to put pauses in, when I'm going to raise my voice, when I'm going to get excited. What discoveries have you made about the script this week? So I found out that a lot of it, like going back to Feeling Blue, there's a lot of Feeling Blue in there. There's lots of elements of Feeling Blue, and we need to show that really well, like through songs or dances. But going through each one, it shows what each one's about. Yeah, choosing skills and techniques. Obviously, we haven't done as much techniques yet because we haven't got fully into the script. So I can't really talk about that one as much. But talking about the practitioner, the Stanislavski technique, the big if. So sort of, what did my character do before? What did he do before he did his monologue? What was he doing? If this happened, how would we react? Sort of that kind of thing. And how did I respond to feedback and direction? My response to feedback and direction was pretty good. Deb's told us, obviously, with different people doing different lines. So I did a few lines of David, so did Ed and Adam. So that was good. I responded. I was happy to do that because everyone's going to audition for who they want. So I chose Craig and David. And yeah, so yeah, everything of this week one of what I've covered is sort of like the context, the themes, the monologue of what I've chosen, David and Craig, and the structure, sort of just understanding Sad Club. And we come with them, obviously, like I said again, the main theme is Feeling Blue. So yeah,